What's the latest, please?
Yeah, so clearly it was a large-scale attack on the fiber networks during the night between 9 a.m., 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. So really middle of the night, there were 9 places, we are told, across France where long-distance fiber optic cables were cut. So really this is the highways of the internet powering the network. And thanks to redundancies, there was no real impact, just a bit of latency for some customers. But clearly this is the scale of the attack that's sort of worrying authorities in France. For the trains, the trains are back to normal as of today, and it's been slowing, going back to normal in the weekend. So far, no really disruption of the Olympics. It's not been disrupting either the train or the internet outage have been disrupting the Olympics, but really it's the scale of the attacks and the fact that they are targeted across France rather than on Paris. That is sort of interesting and surprising authorities.
Benoit, the outstanding question, I suppose, is there a link between the rail nodes that were a victim of arson attacks last week and the cutting of fiber optic cables overnight? Is there any evidence that that is part of a wider and coordinated attack?
So there is no evidence that we know of so far. There are 2 separate investigations that have been started by the Paris prosecutor's office. Clearly, what's similar is that there is a good level of intelligence on where exactly to act, especially on the train attacks. Like this really were important nodes in the network. But there is no proof or no indication so far of who could have done this. The Interior Minister this morning said they were advancing on this, but clearly there is no information of who could have done it and if there is a link between the 2 attacks.
Away from the news headlines, it was a weekend where everyone watching the program was glued to their television. I really enjoyed the Rugby Sevens. Congratulations to France on an incredible performance. What's it like in Paris now, Benoit? What's the experience of being in the host city and host nation?
It's a great atmosphere in Paris, clearly. Lots of Parisians have fled the city, but it's a lot of people from across France that are coming to see the events, and many tourists, of course. The weather is much better now, so that's great. Great locations all across the city. Like they've chosen to put the events location really in the middle of the city, and it turns out to be great. So far, transports in Paris are fine. There was no security incident, thankfully so far. So I would say all good for those visiting in Paris.